3 minutes seems insignificant, right? Yet in that fleeting span, fortunes can be made or lost, life-altering yeses whispered, or your entire day dramatically shifted. Sounds too good to be true? Maybe even a little naive, but this isn't some feel-good fluff. It's backed by science, steeped in spirituality, and born from hard-won experience. And it could be the very thing you need to hear right now. We often drift through life on autopilot, like sleepwalkers propelled by unseen forces. Before our feet even hit the floor, anxieties flood our minds. Debt, deadlines, the relentless pressure of time, looming uncertainties. We start our day already operating at a frequency of scarcity, urgency, sheer survival. We're tuned into the static, replaying yesterday's loop. Weeks turn into months, months into years, spent in this perpetual state of overwhelm. Does this resonate? It did with me. I know the feeling, the crushing weight of a life controlled by external forces, not your own will. I've toiled in soul-crushing jobs, scraping by on meager pay, lacking formal education, adrift in a sea of doubt. That gut-wrenching feeling of the day's weight bearing down before it's even begun. I know it intimately. I was just another face in the crowd, battling for survival in a relentless current. Then I discovered gratitude, not the perfunctory rote kind, but a deliberate, focused practice that shifts your mental frequency, connecting you to what you desire, not what you fear. Everything vibrates at a specific frequency. Money, health, relationships, happiness. Gratitude is one of the highest vibrations. Accessing that state, even for 3 minutes, elevates your mind and body. It's that flow state where ideas ignite, the right people appear, and time seems to bend to your will. It's not luck, it's resonance. Most people can't sustain this state because they're prisoners of their senses. They see a looming debt and panic. They hear a negative comment and carry that burden all day. They feel fear and believe it dictates their future. But the external world only holds power when you grant it. We weren't taught how to block that out. We were trained to react, not command. This is where gratitude becomes a potent, silent weapon. By consciously choosing to pause for 3 minutes and focus solely on what's good, what already exists, what you've achieved, or even what you aspire to, as if it's already reality, you seize control of your frequency. Shift the frequency, shift everything. Science is catching up. Studies show that gratitude significantly lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, boosting emotional resilience, sleep quality, relationships, and self-esteem. Coincidence? I think not. If you could witness the physiological changes in those 3 minutes, you'd be amazed. Your heart rate steadies, your breath deepens, your brain activates regions associated with clarity, focus, memory, even empathy. A simple pause transforms into a direct command to the universe. I'm ready, I'm aligned, bring it on. But I know what you're thinking. I'm drowning in problems, bills are piling up. How can I possibly stop to be grateful? That's the trap. Waiting for things to improve before feeling gratitude is like waiting for a fireplace to warm up before adding wood. Gratitude isn't a consequence. It's the cause. It saved me. When my life was crumbling, broke, directionless, uneducated, I met a man named Ray Stanford. He mentioned a book, Think and Grow Rich, and said, if you do exactly what I tell you, you can achieve anything. I barely believed in myself, but I believed in his belief. I started small. One of the first habits I adopted, daily gratitude, a few minutes before anything else, even without apparent reason. Grateful for waking up, for health, for learning. Gradually, what began as a mental exercise became reality. More opportunities appeared, better ideas emerged, smarter decisions followed. It all started with 3 minutes of quiet gratitude. Now when people ask, what's the secret? How do I change my life? I tell them, start by being grateful, even without reason, because the reason will follow. Still doubtful, what do you have to lose? 3 minutes. If you can't spare 3 minutes for gratitude, the problem might not be time, but your failure to grasp your inherent power. You either control your frequency, or it's controlled by everything around you. The choice is yours. 3 minutes of intentional gratitude can transform an entire day, and a transformed day can be the first step toward a life you never imagined. How often do you wake feeling behind on your own life? Before you even brush your teeth, your mind's already awash in a torrent of, I need this, I don't have that, how am I going to fix this? Before you know it, you've spent the first hours complaining about what's missing, what's broken, what's out of place. It's like your thoughts are perpetually programmed by scarcity. And listen closely, a complaining mind doesn't create results, it merely replicates what already exists. You might think you're being realistic, but you're reinforcing the very thing you want to change. The mind operates through repetition. Repeated thoughts become patterns. Patterns become results. Financial, emotional, physical. When you lament daily about debt, lack of income, lack of recognition, you perpetuate that state. You're feeding the problem, believing it's merely venting. I'm not saying ignore reality, but understand. Reality is the effect, not the cause. The cause lies in the vibration you emit, and gratitude alters that vibration. My first business was a cleaning company. I had no idea what I was doing. I just craved a different life. No training, no business plan, no experience, but I had a different mindset. I didn't start complaining about lack of clients. I thanked for the ones to come. I was grateful for every opportunity, even before it manifested. This is crucial. You need to thank before you receive. Gratitude before achievement is faith, and faith creates. Many say, I can't feel grateful because things are tough. I reply, things remain tough because you're waiting for them to change before feeling good. It's the opposite. You need to feel good, grateful for things to begin changing. This isn't just my opinion. Harvard University has studied emotional patterns and success. They found individuals cultivating positive emotions like gratitude and enthusiasm had higher productivity, creativity, and even financial returns. This isn't self-help fluff. It's neuroscience, physiology, behavior. If you constantly feed the same thoughts of lack, comparison, injustice, you reinforce neural connections keeping you stuck. You maintain the frequency of what you want to eliminate. The universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you resonate with. Look around. People constantly complaining rarely prosper. They're trapped in a cycle of frustration and blame. Now look at those who've grasped this. Someone like Will Smith. Love him or hate him, he's always spoken about the power of thought, gratitude, visualization. He expressed gratitude when he had no movies, no Oscars, sleeping on a recording studio floor. Contrast that with Mike Tyson, extraordinary talent, immense fortune. Yet he spent years in a frequency of anger, resentment, mental scarcity. He lost it all. Why? Because he never learned to train his mind for gratitude, only for fighting. Gratitude doesn't solve everything, but without it, nothing changes. Without gratitude, you remain trapped in the same mindset. A stagnant mind doesn't transform results. When I see someone say they're stuck, I see someone accustomed to complaining, but who's forgotten to be thankful. Someone who's never paused for 3 minutes, eyes closed, to say, thank you for my strength, thank you for my mind. Thank you that even if I don't yet have what I want, I can become who I need to be. That's when the game changes. Shift the frequency, attract different responses. You see opportunities once invisible. You act with greater confidence, focus, and creativity, all because you chose the simplest, most underestimated tool, gratitude. So I ask with all my heart, will you continue fueling lack or start planting what you wish to harvest? That choice will define the direction of your life. It starts now, with a thought, with a feeling, with 3 minutes of gratitude. Notice how some people always seem to be on the right path. They effortlessly close deals, attract the right connections, possess a radiant energy. You wonder, what do they have that I don't? The answer is simple, yet profoundly powerful. Gratitude. Not the automatic program kind, but a deep, felt gratitude, practiced intentionally daily. They understand something most miss. Gratitude is the key to abundance. Successful people don't wait for achievement to be grateful. They're grateful beforehand. This aligns them with their desires. The universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to vibration. Gratitude vibrates, I already am, I already have, I already have become. When you live like that, the world reciprocates. Oprah Winfrey, for instance, kept a gratitude journal, writing 3 things daily, simple, consistent. She credits it as the most transformative habit of her life. Why would someone with billions, global influence, and unparalleled success practice daily gratitude? Because she understood that lasting abundance isn't about money, it's about mindset, and gratitude is its foundation. But I have nothing I want, you might say. How can I be grateful? That's precisely why you need to be. Gratitude isn't a reaction, it's a decision that aligns you with the vision of your desired life. When I started, I had nothing. A simple home, job hopping, barely making ends meet, but I began to give thanks. At first it felt odd. Grateful for what? My body, my mind, the book Ray Stanford gave me, simply for breathing. When you start this, you feel different, lighter, more open, connected. The world responds differently too. Gratitude unlocks doors, fear keeps shut. By expressing gratitude, you relinquish control, but assume command. You shift from desperation to confidence. In that frequency, you notice things previously invisible. A forgotten contact, a new idea, an unlikely solution. This isn't just spirituality, it's applied physics. Gratitude reorganizes your nervous system, harmonizes your heartbeat, and reduces activity in brain regions associated with fear and scarcity. Neuroscience calls this positive neuroplasticity. You train your brain to see what's working, not what's wrong. And the more you do this, the more reasons you'll have to continue. Consider Robin Williams, a comedic genius loved worldwide, yet disconnected from himself. Even with fame and success, he silently battled depression. Mental health is complex, but a pattern emerges. Many who have it all still feel empty. External success doesn't fill the void of internal disconnect. Gratitude, then, is more than a feeling. It's a homecoming to your essence. If you're waiting for life to give you permission to be grateful, know this: you already have it. You don't need grand achievements, you need awareness. And with that, you have everything to begin. The practice is simple. Daily, reserve 3 minutes. Sit, breathe deeply, and mentally express your gratitude. It could be for a roof over your head, food on the table, the chance to try again. Even if your mind protests, it's not enough. You persist, because with time, it learns, your body learns, the universe learns. Before you know it, you'll be grateful for things once deemed impossible. A new job, an unexpected raise, a healthy relationship, that brilliant idea that transformed your finances. It all began with 3 minutes. 3 minutes where you chose to vibrate with abundance before it arrived. Abundance doesn't respond to urgency, it responds to consistency. By thinking like someone who already has, feeling like someone who already is, and thanking like someone who's already received, you become that person. Life can't deny what you've become internally. If there's one practice capable of opening unseen doors, aligning your mind, emotions, and body with your desired life, it's gratitude. It starts now, with you, right where you are, because everything you desire is already seeking you. And it will find you in the frequency you choose to inhabit. People constantly ask, what's the first step? My answer seems so simple they often overlook it, but that's the key. The simplest practice, the one almost no one takes seriously, is the one with the power to change the trajectory of your entire life. Gratitude, 3 minutes a day. That's it. But it's not just any gratitude. Not the automatic empty repetition of thank you like a meaningless mantra. It's felt, visualized, embodied gratitude. It's creating with clarity the image of the life you want and being grateful as if it's already real. This is mental technology, a direct command mechanism to your subconscious mind. And the subconscious, my friend, doesn't differentiate between real and imagined. It only understands frequency. Emit the right frequency consistently, and it takes care of the rest. I remember a time when I was clawing my way out of the depths. Bills were piling up, my schedule was chaotic, exhausted, frustrated, overwhelmed. My mind was so cluttered, pausing seemed impossible, but I forced myself to stop. I sat on the edge of the bed, breathed deeply, and began to express gratitude. I thanked, as if everything was already resolved. Ample time, bills paid, mental clarity. With each breath, my body responded. Neck tension eased. The knot in my stomach unraveled. Something remarkable happened. My mind cleared. Ideas suddenly surfaced, insights invisible in autopilot mode. It's not the world that needs to slow down. It's you who needs to learn to pause internally. 3 minutes is enough. I don't even have time for coffee, you might think. The irony is, you lack time precisely because you don't pause. External chaos reflects internal chaos. If you want to transform your productivity, clarity, energy, start within. Try this. Choose a specific time, morning, night, or even stuck in traffic. When the light turns red, instead of complaining, use that moment to give thanks. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for the opportunity to learn. I'm grateful for being on the path. 30 seconds. By repeating this at each stop, you'll train your mind multiple times daily to vibrate at the frequency of gratitude. Make it even more powerful. Create mental images. Visualize your dream home, your desired bank balance, completed projects, your ideal lifestyle. Don't visualize it as distant. Feel it as if it's already yours, as if you're living it now. Feeling anticipatory gratitude tells your nervous system, this is already mine. Your body acts accordingly, your decisions change, your posture changes, your results change. You cease merely desiring and begin living in alignment with your desires. What separates you from your next level isn't luck, crisis, or lack of time. It's the frequency you choose to emit. Gratitude is the most accessible, powerful, and neglected tool for shifting that frequency. Practice consistently for a week, just 1 week, and you'll notice changes. Unlocking your potential isn't about a sudden windfall or a miraculous overnight transformation. It's about noticing the subtle shifts, the small coincidences that begin to accumulate. An unexpected message pops up. A flash of insight solves a long-standing problem. An invitation arrives. A new client appears. A solution presents itself. These aren't illusions. They're tangible, even demonstrably so. Gratitude, scientifically speaking, activates brain regions responsible for emotional balance, dampening the fear response and strengthening neural pathways linked to joy, motivation, and decisive action. This isn't just spiritual mumbo-jumbo, it's neuroscience. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Create the conditions within yourself. Start small. Begin with something simple, 3 minutes a day. It's a frequency that shifts things. Skeptical, try it. 7 days, 3 minutes daily. Then tell me if your world doesn't start responding differently. Because here's the truth. Changing your feelings changes what the universe sends your way. It all starts with gratitude. Chosen, practiced, intentional. 3 minutes, that's all it takes. Everything changes. Have you considered that everything you desire, wealth, freedom, success, peace, isn't far off, hidden, or unattainable? It's simply inaccessible because you haven't learned to receive. It sounds simple, right? Yet most people struggle with this. They ask, they dream, they work hard. But when life delivers, they reject it. They tell themselves, I don't deserve this. It's too good to be true. I can't afford it. It's more common than you think, and if you don't address this, you'll spend your life begging for opportunities you then shut down yourself. Why? Because your mind rejects the unfamiliar. Your subconscious, shaped over years, operates within certain parameters. If you grew up hearing money is scarce, success is for the privileged few, happiness attracts envy, then even when you say you want those things, you subconsciously block yourself from receiving them. You might enjoy them briefly, but you can't sustain it. You revert to the old pattern. I've been there. When I started earning more cleaning houses, I'd blow it all, sabotaging myself with silly mistakes. Why? Deep down, I didn't believe I deserved it. It was like an invisible ceiling. When I hit it, everything crumbled until I realized the problem wasn't earning. It was receiving without guilt. Do you find it easier to compliment others than to accept a compliment? Easier to give than to receive help? Easier to desire abundance than to possess more than others? This is programming. Unless reprogrammed, it will stifle your growth. Research from University College London shows a large part of adult self-worth forms by age 7, especially regarding deservingness. If you were punished for wanting too much or taught to make do, your subconscious might have ingrained the idea that desiring greatness is wrong, having greatness even worse. Listen, life isn't withholding anything. It simply doesn't deliver what you won't accept. Acceptance starts with seeing yourself as worthy of thriving, worthy of peace, worthy of time, pleasure, love, comfort, recognition, without guilt, fear, or self-deprecation. Here's a practical exercise. For the next 5 days, when someone compliments you, accept it. Don't deflect. Don't diminish it. Just say, thank you. When someone offers help, accept it without justification. When life gives you a break, a moment of peace, an unexpected gift, don't sabotage it with, this won't last, or I don't deserve this. Accept it. Acceptance is the muscle of abundance. The more you exercise it, the more you expand your capacity to receive. Remember, what you desire already exists in your energetic field, but you can't reach it if you won't let yourself receive it. The first step isn't wishing harder, it's lowering your defenses and saying from your heart, yes, I'm ready, I allow this, I receive. Because when you learn to receive, life learns to deliver. The key takeaway: you don't receive what you want, you receive what you believe you deserve. It's not about asking for more, it's about allowing more, making space within yourself to accept, guilt-free, all that life is ready to give you. If this resonated, the next video will help you take another step on this journey. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.